guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today I'm doing a review of the Alice Tarot. Yay! So this is a deck by Baba Studios, and I have, I think this is my third deck from Baba Studios. And we know that it's their decks are kind of expensive, but they're known for their quality, they're known for their attention to detail, and when something, goes out of print, the prices for their decks secondhand don't really drop in value. So this is not the original Alice Tarot that Baba Studios first came out with. This is actually one of their other editions. So this was their latest edition that came out this year, 2019, and I had pre-ordered it, and I was so excited to get it. And then when I saw that other people were starting to get theirs and they're doing their unboxings, I'm like, oh, what about me? Wait for me. So first of all, I'm just showing you guys all this like gold foil that's on this box, which is freaking awesome. It's so luxurious. It opens and closes like butter, as they might say. And let me just take out some of the things that are in here. So it came with a couple of extra things. So first you have your title card here, and it tells you who the designer is and who the illustrator is. And there's some websites down at the bottom if you care to check them out. And with this review, and with all of my reviews, mainly I just like showing beautiful artwork, and I am enamored with the artwork that comes from Baba Studios. And so I'm just sharing it with you guys. Does it mean that you need to go spend a ton of money and go buy something from Baba Studios? Absolutely not. But maybe if you were already interested and you were just looking at it saying, oh, well, maybe that's, I should go check them out. That's totally up to you. I'm not like trying to make anybody like buy anything though. And the Alice Tarot did come with an extra lover's card. So you'll see the card that I chose to keep in the deck. But sometimes I like to switch them out here and there. Here we have the walrus and all the little babies. I couldn't do this one as the lover's card because I'm like, oh, the walrus eats them. I can't do it. But let me see. I'll put this one here. These are the backs of the cards. Again, they do have that kind of gold foil to them, which is just so magical. And their cardstock, they're always known for their wonderful cardstock. I love their cardstock. It's bendable, it's not too thick, it's not too thin, as Goldilocks would say, it is just right. So let's go ahead and put these over here. They do have a little white book, as you can see here, and it tells you a little bit about the Alice Tarot. I have read the book Alice in Wonderland, or The Adventures of Alice in Wonderland. I have read, there's the second book. There's the Disney movie, which I think a lot of people are familiar with, although the book, of course, when it comes to when people, do screen adaptations of books, the movies are always like a little bit different because, of creative license and all of that. So I think it's good to read the book and watch the movie and kind of see, what's what. But this deck is more, it focuses on what the book said. And not necessarily what you see in the Disney movie. So you might be like, wait, that wasn't in the Disney movie. Well, it's because it's going off of the book. So there's some spreads there. Tells you a little bit about the major arcana. And what's nice is if maybe you hadn't read the Alice in Wonderland book or the Adventures of Alice in Wonderland, and maybe you weren't that familiar with Alice in Wonderland, but you just really like the art, and maybe you ended up getting this. It's good to look in here because it gives you a little bit of background about the image that's in the card, which I think is pretty nice. So it goes into your minor arcana and all of that. See here, I like the Alice meaning. I think that's it. Let me just give you an example here. Like, let's say you got the Knight of Swords, and then it says that this is the chess red knight. It gives you a little bit of keywords there. And then the Alice meaning someone only interested in having a fight, a control freak, someone who rides roughshod over everyone else, a fighter. This can be for good or bad. So I find this to be really helpful. I know some people are like, it's just a little white book, but this actually has some interesting information, so I would definitely give it a read. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that aside. And woo, everything's so slippery. We will grab our cards, and this is the beautiful backs like I already showed you. And let's get into the cards. So I'm going to get this all set up for you. So like I said, and by the way, before I continue, you can see that some of the cards have some of that gold to it. Not all of them, but most of them. I think you guys can see it there. And there's not really much, I mean, there's a coating on here, but it doesn't make it super shiny, by the way. So the only like glitteriness you see is the stuff that's meant to be glittery. So again, what I was saying before, this is based off of the book, The Adventures of Alice in Wonderland, and not so much the movie. Oh, the Ten of Swords, it just makes me so sad. And you know, the book, well, actually the movie too, but I think Disney softened some of the stuff, but it's so, like, it's fantastical, it has whimsy, yes, and it seems somewhat lighthearted, although there is a darkness to the deck because there's a darkness to the story. You know, it's not all, you know, all everything's happy and rainbows and all of that. I mean, there's some like silly adventures, but this, for me personally, I don't know about anybody else who uses this deck. Oh, this is the Lover's card I chose to use. Is that I like to use it for shadow work. I find that, you know, if I really need to go deep, I really need to look at the heart of a situation, this deck really helps me with that. And yeah, I'd be interested to hear from you guys. Like, if you have the Alice Tarot, how do you use this? Like, maybe you have a different version of it, like their first printing or whatever it may be, of this deck. But yeah, for me, it's very personal. Oh. So yeah, it's like fun, but it's also deep. It's dark. It's wonderful. The detailing, let me see if I can get into this picture with you guys. Like, look at the detailing of the art, the attention to color, and the fact that you can see like some of that gilding on there. It's just wonderful. Like, I know that the deck costs a lot, you know, I know that they're, you know, obviously you're gonna have to save up a little bit, you know, to buy a Baba Studios deck if you were interested in doing so, but like, you feel like, okay, that's worth the amount of money that I'm putting down for a deck of cards, because it's like, wow, you know, this is beautiful artwork. There was a lot of time and consideration and research that was done for this deck. There was a lot of, you know, like little bits and pieces here and there to make it feel special. The box feels special. There is a book that you can buy separately, which I couldn't afford this and the book, so I didn't get the book, but I do hear that the book is absolutely wonderful. Like, it's a standalone thing, and maybe someday I will be able to get that too. But for now, I'm, you know, my savings, saving up for a deck went for the Alice Tarot. So when I make a big purchase like that, that means I usually cannot buy much of anything extraneous for a little while, because, you know, everything in moderation. But I don't know, this deck makes me feel like I'm there, like I'm going through things with Alice, that I'm, you know, interacting with these characters. And so I know that tarot is a journey, but through this tarot deck, I feel like I really am in the journey for whatever it is that's going on in my life, whatever reason it is that I'm deciding to do a reading for myself. I haven't decided to use this deck for clients, for anybody else, because it's so personal and because I've been using it for shadow work and all of that. I just kind of been keeping it to myself. And as I look at these cards, I'm like, oh, I think I'm going to have to bust this out again because I put it away for a little bit because I needed a little bit of a break. You know, can't be doing shadow work all the time. But looks like I might want to bust this out again. Those actually look really yummy. Every time I pull that card, I'm like, yummy, yummy. And we got our 3 of Coins and our 5 of Wands. These little hedgehogs. That one looks a little angry, but you know, kind of cute. All right. I'm going to give these a little bit of a shuffle. I'm just going to do like a little mini general reading just so you can see how I read with it. So, wow. Give me a second to put all that back together. Okay, things get a little cray-cray with this deck. Okay, looking for 2 cards. We're just going to do a little 2-card reading. Maybe it connects with you, maybe it doesn't. This is just general, just to kind of show you guys. I'm not really asking anything specific. I'm just asking for a general message. And let's see, we got the 4 of Coins, which actually was one of the cards that fell out when I first dropped the deck. And our second card is the 8 of Swords. See, what am I telling you? This is shadowy. Shadowy. Okay, so let me put these other cards back here. And let's see. Let's take a look at this. Again, just general. To me, this speaks of counseling. You know, that when we are going through some stuff, there are many of us who do not wish to burden other people with our issues, with our problems. I am one of them. You know, if I feel like I am stuck in my head, you know, whether I'm spiraling because I feel like I'm, you know, failing in something, or I have some defeatist talk or some negative self-talk, you know, whatever it may be going on, and I feel trapped, and it's like I really do want to talk to somebody about my problems, but I just feel like if I tell somebody, I'm just burdening somebody, and I don't want to do that. When in reality, I know that, you know, me as a friend, I would want my friends to tell me of their problems so that I can, if not help them, but at least listen. You know, and so to me, this is speaking of like not keeping everything to yourself, because you'll never be able to find the way out of your situation, or at least it'll be making your situation like 10 times, 100 times more difficult to get out of, unless you talk to somebody, open up to somebody, whether it's to your best friend, a family member, to you know, a licensed professional, because that's what they went to school for. Licensed professionals, like, they at the core, they have always wanted to help people, which is why they decided to get all the schooling and training to help people with their situations, you know, because they actually genuinely want to help people. So this is just speaking of talk to somebody. So whoever this is for, maybe I'm talking to myself, I don't know, but just make sure that you open up to someone. Don't keep that all bottled inside. All right, so anyway, like, see what I'm saying? This is such a shadowy deck. It like really just gets in there and tells you like it is, but I like it. You know, I like it like that. Anyways, so that's it for me, spiritual homies. If you have any comments or questions on this, place that in the comment section down below. If you want to catch a reading from me, head over to www.kittensweetsandtarot.com. I haven't used this with clients yet, but I mean, if you really wanted me to use it with you in a reading, just let me know upon booking. Maybe you'll be that special client I actually use my very personal deck on. And if you want to pre-order my Wally's World Oracle, that is also on my website. And by, let's see, in less than a month, I should have those decks here. There's going to be 500 decks arriving at Kittens, Weights, and Tarot headquarters. It's a lot of decks. Well, I'm not going to be keeping all 500. You know, obviously a bunch of them are going to be going out for the people who backed me on Kickstarter and the people who've already pre-ordered. So make sure that you are on that pre-order train, because once those 500 copies are gone, like, that's it. So, yeah, I guess I'll catch you spiritual homies later. All right? Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.